Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, the Ketosis Mom. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at KetosisMom. You can also find me on Like to Know It and Instagram as well at Living Large and Lily. Today is my week 7 of my Tirzepatide or Zepbound injections. I already took it this morning and I will show you that video shortly. I just got back from Disney World with my family on our spring break vacation, and things obviously you will say look a little different. I'm in a different place in my home. I have windows right in front of me because I needed the light. We have no power at my house right now. So we're gonna do the best that we can to get through this so that we can get you guys the update of how Disney went on Tirzepatide injections, how I did during my week 6, which was my week 2, if you guys remember, of my 5 milligram. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first things first, I just got back from spring break at Disney World, and so yes, I am already peeling where I have burned at Disney. It was extremely hot while I was there. I believe 87, but it felt like it was in the hundreds on all of the pavement. I was also extremely nervous going to Disney because in the past, no matter what diet I was doing and how well I stuck to it at Disney, I would gain weight every single time I've ever gone to Disney World. Usually because a lot of those little sweet treats and snacks, they are our favorites every time we go to Disney. And I don't mean just myself, but my husband is notorious for stopping at every single stand that there is whenever they have anything like the Flower Festival or the Food and Wine Festival, which we have been to before as well. So my husband stopped multiple times throughout the entire Epcot, grabbing all of his snacks and stuff and things, while the rest of us were just kind of sitting and waiting. At one point, my oldest daughter even asked, "Is Dad gonna make us stop stopping at any point?" So I knew that this was going to be the case going into this. That is just how my husband is. It kills me. I'm sure a lot of you all know people like this as well, that they can eat what seems like 24/7 and never gain weight. That is in fact my husband, and he does not care that I gain weight every time I eat or even smell something in the past. He is still going to eat whatever he wants when he wants right in front of me. So yeah. So this trip, I will be honest with everybody, it was probably one of the easiest trips to Disney World as far as food for myself. I was really good this trip. I will put up some of the photos of the things that I myself ate, like a grilled lobster tail that had a key lime butter sauce. I had a grilled corn on the cob with nothing on it because I did not want the garlic butter that they had on there with my SIBO. We also went to the Be Our Guest at Belle and Beast Castle over at Magic Kingdom, and I had a filet with some potatoes there, which was also really great. Another thing that I made sure that I was really staying on top of, especially during the heat at Disney, was my water intake. So I probably spent the most on water the entire time we were there. I'm not a huge fan of Dasani water, but I was for sure chugging it back while we were there in the heat because I was smelting. I did have a couple of things while I was there that helped me along the way as far as all of the steps that we were getting in. I'm used to when we're at Disney that we walk anywhere between the 10,000 and 20,000 steps each day, just because we're not only walking while we are physically at the parks, but then as soon as we get back to our resort, we are typically walking somewhere in the resort or around the resort or to Disney Springs to have dinner. And then even after you've left the parks, you're still walking at night. And so I did have a brand called the Thigh Society send me some of their cooling shorties before I went as a Like to Know It collaboration for me to try them out while I was there. They helped my legs tremendously. They also helped me on my entire lower half to stay cool while I was walking around and not feel like I was just pouring sweat everywhere and just miserable. So that was great. I additionally made sure that I had the right walking shoes that I have posted and down in captions for you all before as far as what my favorite walking shoes were at Disney. So for me personally, walking around at Disney was not really a huge issue like it normally is. With my specific autoimmune disease, I have where my joints in my hip and my spine want to kind of lock in place and making it harder for me to move. However, since I have been on my Tirzepatide with my Cosentyx injections on top of that, I have, knock on wood, not really had that many issues. So I was not having issues with any of my joints while I was at Disney, which was a first in a while as far as walking around, that was not the case. But I also was not really having a whole lot of issues with my feet. Now that's not to say that my feet did not hurt at the end of the day, because I think our largest day was about 17,000 steps. So yeah, that's gonna make anybody's feet hurt no matter what kind of shoes they have on. You're just gonna be exhausted and tired. But typically I am used to coming home from Disney and having gained weight, regardless of me watching my food or not. I will be honest with you all, this trip I did eat the desserts at the Belle and the Beast Be Our Guest, because the gray stuff is just phenomenal and I cannot say no to that. I did also have, I believe, a bite or two of the Dole Whip, which I just felt like, okay, I've been walking all day, I've been sweating all day, I'm gonna have this. And then of course my husband, since we stayed at the Port Orleans resort, did have to walk over and get beignets one night. And I did want to try those because they are rated one of the top desserts at Disney World. I was not a huge fan. My kids and my husband loved them. For me, it was just a little bit too doughy, too much fried. Now, I'm gonna jump into how I responded on my week 6 Tirzepatide going into this trip, because I have an important new thing that has happened. Last week I was asked, had I ever experienced the nausea and vomiting portion that a lot of other people were experiencing, and I had not really, other than just a quick spout of nausea when I woke up one day. When we got to Disney, I had about 4 Starbursts on the airplane with my kids, because that was the only thing we had to snack on the way there. We did not really have a true dinner. I split a smash burger at the airport with my 4-year-old, and that was all I had had. So I ate the 4 Starbursts, and I probably should not have, because that first night at Disney, when I laid down to go to sleep, first of all, our plane was delayed. So we were supposed to arrive around 9 o'clock in Orlando. We did not get to Orlando or to our resort until after midnight. We also arrived and our room was not the room we had booked. So we had lots of fun when we got there. So we had a delayed flight. We didn't get the car we thought we were going to be getting to fit all of our luggage. And then we got to our resort and that was not the room we had booked. So it was not a great start. So going along with that not a great start, I feel like there was a lot of stress during all of that. I had the 4 Starbursts, which was very high sugar that I probably should not have had. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and was getting sick. I could not decide which way it was coming. So I just went and started leaning over the bathtub that was next to the loo and ended up getting sick in the bathtub at the resort. And it was just the Starburst that came out. So for me personally, that kind of told me, okay, I don't need to have these high sugar little candies or anything like that, because it's really just going to upset my stomach. It's not going to sit well. I'm not going to be able to have that. And again, there was a lot of other factors that played into this. It was very high stress. We were traveling. I had 2 very tired 7 and 4-year-old children. There was lots of like arguing back and forth with hotel staff of where is my room, with the car rental people, where is my car? So it was a lot going on. So it really could have been any of those things. It could have also just been something that I kind of picked up at the airport on the way, because I know that the airports are not the greatest for germs. And if you all are hearing a lot of noise outside, that is because when we got home last night from our trip, we also had a tornado that came through in my neighborhood. Yes, there are neighbors that do not have roofs anymore. There are neighbors that have trees through their fences, through their homes, through their windows. fallen on their vehicles. So we have, I believe, what looks to be like every tree service available in this entire area in our neighborhood right now. We also have all of the power trucks here trying to get all of our power back on because we do not have power. So there will be a lot of trucks going by outside that you may hear. So I apologize for the random noise that might zoom past because I am sitting at the front windows. It is pretty rough out there. It has just randomly been blowing really hard wind since we got home. All of our furniture on the back has blown all around everywhere. Luckily, again, knock on wood, we have not seen anything since we've been home that looks off. We did arrive at just after the tornado hit last night, and it was dark, so that was a little scary coming home as well. So as far as Disney went, I feel like I ate the best that I realistically could at Disney. Yes, I still had a few snacks, but I also was really fond of the lobster tail. I was really craving shrimp the entire time I was there. I did have one evening at the resort, I had a grilled shrimp on top of a bed of salad. I picked a lot of the stuff off the salad and it ended up just being lettuce and carrots with grilled shrimp. And then I had ordered fried okra on the side, but I only had about 2 pieces of it just because once I had the shrimp and the salad, I really was full and I just felt like I could not really eat anymore. The other thing that I noticed was drinking the tons and tons of water throughout the park. I was staying and feeling very full the whole time I was at the park just because of the water as well. Now, for as far as my results went, I did not gain weight while I was at Disney, and that is a huge, like, it's never happened before. So I actually lost weight while I was at Disney. I lost 3.6 pounds in the past week since I took my last injection. I'm sure it would probably be a lot more if I could have a bowel movement because typically when I am traveling, it is very hard for me to like work that out, work around kids, work around everybody else's schedule, get there when I need to, and then it's not happening. That happens to me every single time I get on an airplane as well. It usually takes me a few days to kind of get back into a normal routine. If you guys remember, I do have IBS-C, so I already have constipation as it is. So I feel like once everything starts moving, I am hoping, fingers crossed, that next week I get even a larger number because I finally get back to a normal routine as far as that goes. And I know that you can hold, I believe, I'm gonna look this up so I can make sure and I will put it up over here for you, but I believe I saw somewhere that women can hold up to 15 additional pounds just in their digestive system, lower digestive system at any given time. So let's see how that goes. I did enough walking. I was doing enough exercise. I went up, I believe, 0.6 pounds in muscle again. My water is up even higher after going to Disney, which is crazy with the amount of sweat that I was also doing. But I told you guys I was chugging water as much as I could. I think I had one soft drink the entire time I was there, and I didn't even have the full thing. We got a soft drink at Hollywood Studios right before we went into a ride. I had a couple of sips and then I could not take it in line with me. So I left it out by the cart. I ended up pouring it into an empty water bottle. Because it was no longer cold when we came out, I ended up just taking it back to the room. And I believe I only took maybe 1 or 2 more swigs of that just to take some medicine later that evening. And that was it. It did not taste good to me at all. It tasted just gross. Disney World is also the land of no Dr. Pepper, and I am a Dr. Pepper Zero, Diet Dr. Pepper person. If I'm gonna have a soda, that's what it's gonna be. And so I just really didn't want it. I drink a lot of unsweet tea. I also drink a lot of water, just like I told you all. So I personally had excellent results during my, that was my week 2 of my 5 milligram, and now I just took my 3rd 5 milligram, so week 3 on my week 7. I know that's a lot of weeks. I'll try and put up a breakdown over here so you guys can follow that. So far I'm feeling really great. I'm feeling really good. That was probably the best that I have ever gotten around Disney World. It's the best that I've ever eaten at Disney World, and also felt satisfied and like I was not missing out whatsoever. So here comes another truck for you all. Oh, yay. So now we're just gonna focus on trying to make sure that we did not have a lot of tornado damage at my house. We will probably have to get a roofer out just because a lot of the other roofs around us are just kind of half missing off of the homes at this point. And we can't, jump up there ourselves. So we will have to have a roofer come and look at all of that. So I will put up next the video of the injection that I did this morning. Last week I did my left thigh. There goes another truck, sorry guys. Today I did my right thigh. I am due for my Cosentyx injection this next week, and if you guys remember, the last time I had a Cosentyx injection, my weight loss was not really that grand, and I kind of expected that because I have gained so much weight on Cosentyx as it already has been. So we're going to discuss that with my rheumatologist in the upcoming weeks, but I'll go ahead and show you all that injection right now. As always, I like to put a cold pack on my skin before I wipe it down with the alcohol wipe. I did have to sneak this out of my freezer extremely quickly since we don't have power right now, and it wasn't as cold as it normally is. So I did still get a little bit of relief there with it being cold, but I wish it would have been a lot colder. Always remember that you have this in unlock. You are going to hit the button in the top and then wait for the 2 clicks. I personally leave it there just for a few seconds longer, and then I found that I have less bleeding and a lot less of the liquid kind of coming out on the top of my skin when I do it that way. You do always want to make sure that you lock this and then put it back into a safety container. So if you guys hear the bells right there, like I told you guys, we do not have power right now, and my French bulldog has a small doorbell that typically rings for us to let us know that he needs to go outside, and instead he was having to ring the bells hanging on the door to try to let us know that he needed to go. And so I had a great week this week. I'm very happy that my weight went down. I was very, very nervous going into this week, going, oh my gosh, I'm going to Disney. I'm going to gain so much weight. I'm not going to be able to stay away from the snacks. I just know that I'm not going to be able to. But if you all have ever been to Disney, or you have someone, somewhere that you do go, or someone's house that you do go to that typically has all these snacks and you're afraid to go there, I don't know what it is about this Tirzepatide and the Zepbound, but it is, for me, it is magic. That's where the magic is, not at Disney World. The magic is with the Zepbound, because I did not want any of it. I tried it. I had kind of one bite just to say, yeah, okay, that doesn't really taste that great to me, and I moved on. I really did just stick with all of the healthier options. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm doing great on the 5 milligram. Again, I don't know if that little slip up that I had where I got sick in the bathroom was because of all the travel and kind of rushing around and being stressed out, or if it really was from the starburst. But either way, I'm going to kind of be a little more cautious when it comes to little fruit snacks like that, because I definitely don't want the nausea that goes with it. I did feel like I might have overheated on one day when we went out to the pool, and kind of the motion of the water was making me a little nauseous as well. So I had to kind of go sit down in the cold room for a little while to get that to go away. But I mean, overall, I think it's been a great week, and I can't wait to let you guys know how next week goes as well. Another thing I will tell you all, along with those cooling shorties that I was using walking around at Disney, I did go see my dermatologist before I went. I have kind of like this fold, like hangover skin, that as I'm losing weight, it just kind of keeps getting worse and like hanging more. And so I asked her, what can I do? There's my Frenchie right there. You're not supposed to be up there. You get down. Get down. He's not allowed over there. He's usually not allowed in this room either. You want to come say hello? You want to come say hello? Can you say hello? Can you say hello? This is Frankie Sinatra. Can you say hello? Hello. 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 He was safe during the entire storm because he was at his doggy pet resort. But what I was saying is, as I keep losing weight, that skin and that kind of part that hangs down gets a lot worse. I've previously been given what is called a ketoconazole cream to kind of go under there to kind of help with anything that might start getting red or irritated. I just kind of let her know that almost made it feel worse because you're kind of putting a cream with a moisture up underneath there when it's already kind of gross anyway. They've also given me, I believe it was called like a nystatin type powder. I'm just not a huge like let me throw some powder on it type person, and so she did give me these. I used these while I was at Disney. This is called Qbrexza. I had never heard of them before. They are small little individual pouches. They just got here. They just got delivered while Frankie was outside, of course. And our neighbor came over to offer us if we needed to plug up our refrigerator into his generator that he has outside, because everybody's kind of checking on everybody right now. See, they come in these little individual things, which is great. Now, I had never heard of these before. I've not looked up a whole lot about them, but she did tell me at my dermatologist that I could take this, take the wipe out. I can kind of wipe it everywhere that I have those folds kind of hanging over that typically get irritated or sweat a lot. Ooh, that is a big truck. That way, let me wait till that truck goes by. That's a big truck. That's a giant truck with like new power poles on it coming in. Wow. Okay, so all you do is you take this, it's a fold out already wet wipe. You will kind of wipe it everywhere that you have those skin folds that can get irritated or sweat a whole lot. This, after you apply it, kind of turns into a powder on your skin so that it keeps everything dry. These also really worked for me. I did have to pay a lot for these, even through my insurance, and it did have to go through a specialty pharmacy. Now, on the instructions, it says apply topically to affected areas once daily. She did tell me that a lot of people will use these underneath their arms when they sweat a lot underneath their arms, but she does give them to people often who are also having that skin fold for sweat. They worked fabulously at Disney, so if you also have that problem through your weight loss journey, having that kind of skin fold hang over, you might want to go to your doctor or dermatologist and ask about these too. And again, I've not looked into these a lot, but I will before I post this video and post up anything over here that I have found about it. Also, what just arrived was my handy dandy Cosentyx injection that I told you all I am due for this week. Because I do not have power right now, it's going to stay in here with these nice cool packs, and hopefully I get power back soon. Ooh. So this week was not a whole lot of updates. I will tell you all, I did see a lot of the groups talking about how they are eating more and still losing, and they feel like maybe people have lied to them about eating less means you're going to lose the weight, because basically if your body knows that it's going to consume food and it's going to get food, it's not going to hold on to that fat. And during this journey, I have said basically the same thing. I've been eating tons more than I normally do, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of different people who are not on this drug, but they are fitness gurus, you know, telling people, oh, you don't need to take that injection, you just need to eat less and work out more. I've been eating a lot more. I'm here to tell you guys I've been eating a lot more. I've been eating more often. I've been eating more at each meal. I've still been eating the right things, you know, like lobster, shrimp, whole foods, potatoes, corn. That corn on the cob that I had at Disney was probably the most delicious thing that I had while I was there. I wanted to go back for more lobster tails. It's not that you're not hungry, it's that you're making better choices and you're eating the right things. And so a lot of people are still discussing what happens after you come off of this medicine. Again, I do not know. No one knows. If anyone is claiming to know, I would only trust them if they themselves have come off the medicine and they're telling you their own personal experience, much like I am right now. Once I get to that, of course, I will be doing videos on, okay, here's how I've decided to do my maintenance. So if you guys are a lot of my commenters saying that you're just right behind me right now, let's just keep on trucking and get through this and see how everything goes. As of right now, because I've been doing so much better on the 5 milligram than I even did on the 2.5 milligram as far as how I feel, I will probably stay a little longer on the 5 milligram instead of going ahead and bumping up to the 7.5 milligram, especially if I can kind of keep up the current weight loss and keep up eating and feeling great at the same time. So right now I plan on staying on the 5 milligram and getting that during my next injection as well. Since today I just took the third of my 4-pack, I will be going ahead and submitting to my Weight Watchers app to go ahead and get my next refill in for me. I will update you guys next week on what happened with that refill on my week 8 when I do that 4th injection, because I know that there's a lot of shortages out there right now. I know that I even got a text message from Amazon Pharmacy letting me know like, hey, we're not able to send this to people right now. Please don't send us another, prescription because it's kind of in and out of stock. I did see something that Costco is starting to fill these prescriptions now as well. A lot of people are really liking Costco, and of course Costco's a giant warehouse. They have the freezers for it. So they should be able to hold more on stock. A lot of people are going direct to Eli Lilly direct as well. So got a lot coming in right now. So if you guys are not currently hitting the subscribe button and following, make sure that you do hit the subscribe button as well as the bell so that you know next time I have a new video that has posted. I should have more updates for you next week. I also try to watch all of the forums that I'm in to see what people are discussing, what they're talking about, and I will put a lot of those up for you all here as well. So I will see you guys next time, and next week will be my week 8. Bye, everybody.